Hello, this is Melissa. I am here to talk to you about our Patreon page. This is a page that you can go to and give us a monthly donation as you listen to our podcast, and you can get bonus content such as getting episodes early, getting bonus episodes, and a bunch of other things. Eventually, we'd like to do some t-shirts and so much more. So if you're interested, no pressure, you can go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/messybunmamas podcast. Again, that's patreon.com/messybunmamas podcast. In a fitting manner, there is a coffee membership, a cold brew membership, and an espresso membership. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on that page, and thank you so much for listening.
Messy Bun Mamas. I'm Joe. I'm John. I am Malcolm. Wow.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to episode 10.
Yay, number 10.
So I'm Melissa.
I'm Michelle.
And this is the Messy Bun Mamas podcast. So today we are going to do it a little bit unorthodox. We're going to go through some of our Easter memories.
We're a week late, but that's okay.
Yeah. I did realize that. I was like, ugh, we're not gonna, it's fine. No,
whatever.
Fine. Nobody's going to listen to it on Easter anyways.
I mean,
It's fine.
It's not like we're sharing some super secret that they'd be like, oh, I should have done it.
Right? To have a fully rounded Easter. Yeah, no. So why don't you tell me your mom moment of the week?
All right. So my mom moment of the week is, Joe. He I actually took a picture of this because I wanted to post it on my social media. Dan and we were all outside in the backyard, and I noticed that Joe's little picnic table is flipped up over on the other side. And we've had a couple of days of just really high winds and things.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I look at Dan and I'm like, hey, do you think the wind did that? And Dan says, maybe. We've had some pretty hard wind. And Joe, who's just kind of casually sitting next to us, kind of looks over and says, no, I did that. And I said, oh, did you? He goes, yep, there was a bug on it. And I high-fived myself because I'm like, I've successfully managed to raise a child who's just terrified of bugs. I have tried my hardest to get him. I mean, I hate bugs myself, but I have held worms in my hand. Ugh. And I go and retrieve all the stink bugs in our house and everything because they just freak him out. But I thought, how appropriate that little 4-year-old did not call me to take care of his problem. He handled it himself by flipping over the entire picnic table.
Good job, Joe.
I'm like, all right, at least he's handling things himself.
Right, at least he doesn't come and get you to handle it.
Now, if it's a stink bug, I do have to handle it. I tried to get him.
He's scared of them or because they smell?
I think it's just because, they're super creepers. Yeah. All of a sudden they're just there in front of you. Like they've been stalking you. And so I think they take him by surprise. And then he's just like,
they have no boundaries whatsoever.
They do not. They're so ignorant and rude. So I think they just take him by surprise. And then it kind of freaks him out, and then he carries it through. So yeah, I get called to take care of the stink bugs. I would much rather not because I think they creep me out as well. So I hate them. So tell me about your mom moment.
So my mom moment of the week is I was laying down on the couch the other day, and Mike came home with the kids.
Okay.
Malcolm was sleeping, and Rayla was awake.
Okay.
And I thought that I told this story already, but I did not find it in any of our podcasts. So if I told it already, you're going to hear it again. So I was laying on the couch, and so I lay on the couch where the couch is to my left and the room is to my right. And Rayla has this spot that's right like in my armpit, basically. And she has laid there like her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she lays down, she pulls the blanket over herself and whatever. Well, when he came home, Malcolm was sleeping and Rayla was awake because Rayla does not fall asleep in the car. She refuses to fall asleep in the car. So he carries Malcolm in. Malcolm's kind of whiny. So I was like, give him here. Like, I'll cuddle him either back to sleep or whatever. Like, I don't often get Malcolm cuddles. So, like, I'm always willing to take one for the team. It's not a big deal.
Hoarding them when you can.
Exactly. So he gave him to me, and I like cuddled him into my left arm where Rayla usually lays, and I put the blanket over us. So then Mike comes in, puts a happy Rayla down in the living room. She looks at me, and she gives me eyebrows. Now, when Rayla gives eyebrows, she like, my mom and I are very like expressive with our eyes and our eyebrows.
She is too.
And Rayla for sure is. She wears her heart on her sleeve or her eyebrows.
Right.
For sure. So she like gives me eyebrows, and I'm just like, what's wrong with you? And like, she was looking at her brother who was laying on me, and I was like, whatever, like, he's sleeping, you're fine. So I like pull her over, and like I pull her, I can't really move much, so I pull her over, I like hitch my leg down between her legs, and I like bring her up onto me to sit in between my legs, which is normally where Malcolm sits. And she like, I turn on her show, and she basically is like upset and whining the entire time that she's sitting on me. I brought over another blanket, covered her up. I'm like trying to rub her head and get her to calm down. After like 15 minutes, I was just like, Belinda, who's sitting behind me, I'm like, can you please, for the love, pick up Malcolm, who's now sleeping, and move him to a different couch so Rayla can lay in her spot, lest I have to listen to her whine all night. And she's just like, do you think that's why she's upset? I'm like, for sure, that's why she's upset. So Belinda gets up, moves Malcolm. I drag Rayla up, and she like puts her head down next to me and like yanks the blanket over her and just like has this really heavy sigh. But the thing is like, so she does this thing when we're like laying face to face where she'll like make a face at me, and then I have to like duplicate the face, and then I'll make a face at her and she duplicates it or whatever. So she just like, she takes her hand and like basically like slaps her hand on my face, which apparently I felt the need to do right now, and like looks at me very intently just so I knew like how upset she was about that Malcolm was in her spot. And it was just like, I don't know, I've never had such, and I mean, I don't ever want to say, like, I know a lot of people have lost loved ones and like people have been sick and whatever. Like, I've hated what this has done to like our society and like our lives and whatever. But I also love it just a little because I've never had things like that with the kids. Like, I've never had so much time with the kids where like they were able to have a spot that was theirs as they were growing up.
Right.
So Rayla's definitely just gotten so much more from me. And it was just, I don't know, it was
that
is
like, cute.
Not that I'm happy that she was being a brat, because she for sure was being a brat.
Right.
but like she's being a brat because Malcolm was in her cuddle spot, and like
That's her cuddle spot.
Her cuddle spot, not Malcolm's. Right. And Malcolm, like, it's true. Malcolm actually, like, he likes listening to my heart. So he'll sit on my lap, and if I'm wearing like a hoodie or whatever, he'll lift up my hoodie and he'll put his ear right on my heart so he can hear my heartbeat. Mm-hmm. That's what he likes doing. So he didn't care where he was laying. He was sleeping.
He just, right.
Like, it didn't matter to him one way or the other, but she was like outraged. And it was like,
she was being a girl about it.
Yeah, she was for sure being a girl about it.
She's like, that is my spot.
Yeah. And the fact that, like, I brought her up to, like, sit in between my legs and was, like, trying to show her attention and talk to her or whatever, and she was not having it. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Just
cute, but ridiculous.
Imagine 10 years from now.
I know. I'm setting myself up to be severely dismayed on the regular. So why don't you go ahead and tell me your first Easter memory?
So my first Easter memory is, I don't know, it's kind of basic because we didn't really do like really out of this world Easter stuff. At least I don't remember doing
anything like distinct.
Yeah, distinct. But I just always remember, and I know you're probably going to make fun of me for this, but like my brother and I, our birthdays are like right near Easter.
Okay.
But my mom always made a special point to like distinguish between Easter and our birthdays for us.
Well, that was nice. Listen, my birthday is 7 days before Christmas. I do not have any sympathy for you and your Easter birthday.
I know, because Dan's birthday is the 24th of December, so
you understand my plight.
Right.
You've heard.
I do. When I met him, he was like, no, you have to have separate days. We can't open, and his family was supportive of this. We can't open our Christmas gifts and do Dan's birthday all on one day.
It's
and
true.
I'm like, suck it up. Yes, you can. You're in your 30s, dude. So,
you better not give me a birthday present in Christmas wrapping paper. That better not happen.
No, I do not do that. So, but I just remember because there were family members that bought us like Easter stuff for our birthdays. Mm-hmm. And so it was nice to me that we had that distinguished. We got our Easter basket and it was just nice. And of course, we got a new outfit and it was always pretty and frilly. And Joe will probably never understand that concept because I over wardrobe his closet. And so but for us to get a new outfit, that was
a big deal.
A big deal.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like our kids are for sure over wardrobes. So the idea of like
I get a special outfit for Easter. He's just like, oh, my mom's dressing me up again. So I don't know. It just, and my mom would curl my hair. And so those are kind of my Easter memories. I mean, I don't remember like egg hunts or anything like that or anything big.
Yeah.
But we always did that. And then when my grandma was alive, we would always go to my grandma's for an Easter dinner with the family and everything. So
yeah.
And I probably did not treasure those moments as much as I would treasure them
as a grown-up.
Well,
yeah, of course not.
Right. So tell me about your first Easter memory.
So my first Easter memory is, so my mom will say that Christmas is her favorite memory, or her favorite holiday, I should say. I just don't know that that's true.
You disagree?
I disagree. I think that Easter has always been my mom's. Well, and part of that might just be because when like we were younger, my one uncle got Christmas, my one aunt got Thanksgiving, and my mom had Easter. So I think because of that, she always just like was so extra about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were younger, I don't know if you've seen this like meme going around of like assign each kid their own color eggs. My mom did that when we were kids. Like I had the pink egg and my cousin had purple eggs and my other cousin had green eggs, and like we all had our own bags that we had to find. And then she had like 5, golden eggs that were hidden all over, and they had different different dollar amounts in the golden egg. So everybody got to find a golden egg, but whatever egg you found, you couldn't open it until we were all together. And so like our egg hunts were like very structured, color coded. We all had bags, like
nobody was going to be fighting, right?
There was no fights. Like we all had 13 eggs that we had to find during our egg hunt. And if you didn't have 13, your egg hunt wasn't over yet.
Right.
And so it's really funny to me now when I see like these memes going around like assign colors to, because like my mom knew if we came to Easter and like I was like, I get pink eggs this year, she's just like, actually you had pink eggs last year, it's Jessica's year for the pink eggs. Because as she stored away the eggs every year, I'm sure there was a piece of paper in there that was just like 1997.
I was gonna
say eggs were Melissa.
She probably like journaled it all out.
Probably, because that's my mother. But like, yeah, so the egg hunts were always like fun for us when we were younger, and it was always our activity that we did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we dyed eggs and we did other stuff too. Like when I say that our Easter was like extra, and I think that for sure is my mom's favorite holiday. Even to this day, I think that that's true because she does all the same stuff with my kids that she did when, like, my brother Larry is like, we're gonna take over Easter once we buy a house, and I'm just like, Mom's gonna give up Easter.
Right.
All right.
Good try.
I mean, we'll see.
Right.
That was 3 years ago.
They still
haven't hosted an Easter. Right. So, yeah. So, what's another memory for you for Easter?
So, I think probably my fondest memory of Easter is, I don't know, it's going to sound strange, but when I was in my 20s, like a lifetime ago, I taught Sunday school. I think it was for like the 3rd and 4th graders. And up to Easter, we had been talking about the Israelites in Egypt and being slaves and all of that stuff. And I had it all set up for Easter Day to do the Passover prep. So like when they were prepping for the night of the Passover, when the angel of death would come by and pass by the doors, they had to, so for that Easter day, like I had the kids all dressed up in the Bible costumes, and they had to pretend like paint the blood over the doorposts, and we even did the dinner, and I had like I super researched this out. Like I had the plates and the cups, because there was actually, I think there was like 2 or 3 cups that they drank from, and everything had to be in a certain order.
Wow.
And I had my friend, I went and got lamb, and not like lamb chops, but just ground lamb, and she seasoned it up, and we gave the kids lamb to eat. And I mean, it was, in my mind, that is my favorite memory of teaching Sunday school.
Wow.
And I feel like, I mean, the kids just really responded to it. And I always look back on it and I wonder, because the church that I went to, we did a big bus ministry. And so a large majority of the kids that would come Sunday mornings were kids that were coming just from other homes. They weren't church kids. And so I always look at that and I think, I hope that made such an impact on them, that one day in their life, even if they're not in church now, that one day in their life, they look back and they say, man, she really wanted us to know about Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm making it all about me, not about Jesus.
But it's true though. Like, I hope I made an influence.
Right.
Like, I hope I made a difference.
Yeah, like I want them to know that God loves them so much that he made this elaborate plan that shadows, I guess, because a lot of the Bible is type and shadow. I mean, a lot of the stuff that was done in the Old Testament was things that followed in the New Testament. Yeah. And so I want them to know that he had such an elaborate salvation plan for them that this is what it was. And so no matter where you are in life. And I think that's always my goal whenever I talk to someone. I mean, I'm not a big, hey, let me open my Bible and tell you about Jesus. Yeah. But if I do, I want to get across to you that man, God loves you a lot. I mean, he's really set some things open. So I don't know. It's just my top favorite Easter memory. And I don't think I've ever been as good of a Sunday school teacher since that lesson. But I will also be fair to myself and say I've not really researched like I used to. Yeah. For that class. Like, I would write my own lesson plans. So just to be fair to myself.
Yeah, but you were single.
Right.
You had no kids.
I was single. No boyfriend, just my family to take care of. So so yeah, that's my favorite Easter memory. How about you? What's your next Easter memory?
So my next Easter memory is after the egg hunt. So what we did is my mom, she kind of didn't want us to have like a ton of candy. Like, even in our Easter baskets every year, we would have like granola bars and like pudding cups and
stuff
like,
that's not like really super sugary, right?
So I know some people, like, they'll hide in the eggs, they'll put like candy and whatever, and that for some reason that just is not what she wanted to do. And so what she did is all of our eggs would have like pennies in them. And then what we would do is all the kids would have like 13 eggs, 12, 13 eggs or whatever. Don't worry, I'm sure she'll listen to this and tell me how many eggs there are. And spread out in all those eggs was like 50 cents. So afterwards, we all would have our little baskets and our 50 pennies. And my mom and my dad would run this like Easter store.
Oh,
where whoever finished first got to stand first in line, and we got to spend our pennies to buy things from the store.
That's super amazing. Was it like little toys and...
Yeah, so it was like, I guess now what we would say like dollar store stuff.
Okay.
But like, she would buy things from like rummage sales or from like the clearance section through the year, and she would like throw them in like a bin through the whole year. So when Easter came around, she had like a bunch of random things that were like, some of it was like junk, but some of it was like nicer stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they called it like Larry's store or whatever after my dad. And like I'm pretty sure that was like my dad's favorite part, where he got to like lord over us and like
sell you his wares.
So like, I look at my store, isn't it fancy? But like it's such a unique thing that like my mom and like in this instance too my dad, during the holidays, they just always went above and beyond to make our memories so distinct.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, it for sure is. Like my mom, she never had a duplicate idea. She was always so unique on what she had us do, and she was always so like on top of things, and it was just like she was just that mom. She was the Britney of her day.
She was Pinterest before Pinterest was a thing.
Yeah, for sure she was though. I mean, I remember just like we used to like when my brother's birthday is in June, and we used to do like water balloon tosses during his birthday party. Like, everybody would have partners. We would all stand in a line. I've seen the home videos of us like doing water balloon like she would have coolers full of water balloons that she pre-filled up before the birthday party. And it's just like, this was the 90s, guys.
Right.
Like
right.
So I don't know. It for sure is one of my favorite Easter memories of just, having the store that we could like buy stuff to, and then like having just the uniqueness of what our holidays were when we were kids.
Sure.
So what's another one for you?
So my Easter memories, this Easter memory is more of a recent Easter memory.
Okay.
And it's probably still an ongoing one because Joe is, thankfully, he's not like tortured by the things that I put him in now, but one day when he looks back, he will be. But I actually have it in my Amazon cart right now. But I think it was 2 years ago. I think he was 2 years old. And I bought him an Easter outfit that was the little knickerbockers. Okay. And it had like the suspenders and the little hat, and I got the cute little shoes. And he was just so cute. And I thought, how amazing would it be to continue to just dress him up in knickerbockers. So I actually ordered, well, it's waiting to be confirmed on with me pushing the button in my Amazon cart, but he's going to be getting a similar outfit for this year as well. But I think I keep going back to that memory of Easter and just having that special, like I was saying in my first memory of just having a special outfit that was, not for that day, but we got it on that day and got to wear it that day. So I want to make a distinction for him that it's just a special day, I guess.
Yeah.
So but I still can picture in my head just his cute little face, because at the time he was 2, and so we did like the Easter eggs and stuff, like the dyeing of them and stuff, but it wasn't anything profound. It was just he dipped them and I'm done with that now. Yeah. And I'm freaking out because like he's like putting his fingers in the dye and then like flicking them everywhere. So but now we're getting to the age where things are, he's participating more. And so I think that we're going to have some better memories. Yeah. But, yeah, that's just I still just remember his little blonde hair and that cute little smile on his face. So that's my Easter memory. I know like my memories are like kind of lame.
That's not true. Share your memories.
But I remember that. And so I think it's going to be a tradition for as long as he lets me, that and I can find the knickerbockers. He's going to wear knickerbockers on Easter Sunday. I hope, Joe, if you ever listen to this, you're 18 and wearing knickerbockers on Easter Day.
Sunday. Easter Sunday. I hope that as well.
Just to amuse your mother.
How much do you love your mother, Joe?
Right. How much? All right. So Melissa, tell me about your
Okay, so another memory that I have from Easter is, so my mom's first like exposure to grandchildren, I guess, was when my cousin had a baby. And I want to say that she's like 12, 13 or 14 now. Like it was a hot minute ago. I was like 18, 17, 18, 19, something like that. And she ended up, Rebecca was born in February. So the first time that she wanted her to dye eggs, she was like 1 or 2.
it's just a hot mess.
So my mom, of course, had Easter at her house. So
Mhm.
my cousin, and like my cousins, we were very close when we were growing up. And
Mhm.
like this particular cousin, like he used to come to all of our birthdays and all the holidays and whatever. So we're like pretty close. So she was sitting in the chair. My mom's got like the coffee mugs with the dye or whatever. And she's like giving her eggs to dye. And so the little girl's name is Rebecca and her mom's name is Angie. And Rebecca's like dyeing the eggs and her hands are getting like dyed. And Angie's just like freaking out. And she's like her hands are getting red and blue and black and like they're getting darker and darker because at this point we're just sticking our hands in the dye.
Right,
like,
why not?
There's no like that's just what
Trying
we're
to
doing.
scoop them up with those little things as a 2-year-old is
Yeah, and
impossible.
my mom, I mean, she had like what she does is she gives the kids like a big baggy like jug shirt to wear while they do this so they don't ruin their clothes or whatever. And she's just like, it's okay, just let her dye her hands. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's washable. It's not gonna be dyed forever. Even if it's still there tomorrow, who cares? Like,
it'll come off eventually.
She's like 1 or 2. It's not a big deal. So it's just like, and this is so distinct because now with our kids, like when our kids, so my mom went from 0 grandkids to 8 grandkids in 5 years.
That's a lot.
Okay. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Or maybe it wasn't 5 years, maybe it was 7 years. I don't know, whatever. She's got 1 new grandchild every year.
Wow.
Okay, for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we got Belinda. So it's Belinda, giant break. So when we sit down to dye eggs, she makes like 14 dozen eggs.
God
like
bless her.
She's got like different mugs for all the kids. Like we have like it's a whole production. She's got matching t-shirts for all the kids to wear that they can ruin well. And the mentality of like just let the kids dye the eggs however they want, that has carried from like when my cousin's kid was a baby and like sitting there dyeing her hands to now where like each kid, like this is your carton of eggs. Okay. So they get to choose what colors they want. Some of them use the little dipper thing. Some of them use spoons. Some of them use their hands. Like it just kind of is what it is.
Right.
And it's just nice to see the pictures and just have the memories through the years as the kids are getting older and more just aware of what they're doing.
Right.
And it's just like, I mean, the first time John just like, he just wanted to plop him in there and then like take him out immediately.
Right.
Like he didn't understand the concept
Joe,
of like you need to leave them in there so they can be dyed.
Right.
Like that is what we're doing right now. We're leaving the egg like, and if you really think about it, like this is a horrible activity for children. Like plop them in and just like leave them
and wait.
in 6 cups for 3 minutes.
Right. And sit here nicely while we wait, please.
Yeah. And then we can't color or put any stickers on until they dry. Like it's a horrible activity for
it's
children.
a waiting game.
Like
right?
I don't know what we were thinking, but so we just have these like egg dyeing extravaganza parties now at Easter.
That's amazing.
With our with my mom's grandkids, because she's just got this whole event set up because we can't do anything halfway.
Right.
So
that's awesome though.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be your mom right now just because it makes it cool. So
yeah. Well, and it's so funny because it's like there's like we'll take pictures of when we're all together of just like these are all of the grandkids, and it's just like there are those pictures where like somebody's crying, somebody's flailing, there's limbs everywhere. It's not a nice picture, and there's just like Belinda sitting there just like, I really want to murder all of you.
Right.
Like, and like just a bunch of babies.
Why do I have to be in this group picture?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just like, it's so nice just to have these moments. Because our goal, like my brothers and I, when we were growing up, was always for our kids to be like we're going to raise our kids as best friends. That's just what we always wanted. And it's just nice for them to have the memories, because we have such nice memories of us with our cousins when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We really do. And I mean, if that's all that holds our relationship together with me and my cousins, I mean, at least we have the memories of when we were kids.
Right.
And I mean, I hope our kids have more than that as they grow up, but it's just nice for them to have these memories, you know, as they're growing. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm going to say this. This has kind of inspired me, because I'm usually, this last year, I kind of flaked out on Christmas, but I'm usually like super big about making Christmas a huge deal. And even like Dan's dad dresses up as Santa Claus for Joe.
Aww.
And even this year, he came and did like a porch visit. And so, I mean, we intentionally make Christmas, and Dan too, because Dan's like a little kid.
Yeah.
And so we intentionally make Christmas like this huge deal. So I kind of feel like I need to step up on my game on the other holidays.
Yeah.
So you've kind of inspired me with some of your stories.
Well, and like it's not just it's everything. Like at Thanksgiving, my mom has like a planned out big craft to do with the kids every year. And like she's got little kits for each of the kids, like to do the crafts. And just like, I know we roll our eyes at my mother. She's just like,
I love her.
She's just making us all look bad, I'm telling you.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Stop working and being so productive and a great grandma. I mean,
so like this year, because like we couldn't get together for Thanksgiving, so you know what she did?
She made the kits and sent them home.
She made the kits and delivered them to our porches.
Oh my God. I super love her.
She did.
She has my heart, like.
But like, you did the same thing too. So we had drive-in church,
right?
And she was Malcolm's Sunday school teacher when Corona hit. So you made the kits for the kids for drive-in church. And you're just like, here's their craft, their Sunday school craft. So you do the same thing.
I do. I just, I guess that's why I said she has my heart, because like, I'm very passionate about kids and recognizing kids and just making their world amazing. And so with like the coronavirus and everything, they had already lost so much. Yeah. And they were kind of like swept under the rug.
For sure.
And everyone's like, well, they're just little. They don't know. No, they do.
They realize that something is off.
Right. They're not getting to go into church. They're not getting to go into the stores. They don't get to go to the park to play with your friends. I just, you know, they notice something is different. And so I wanted to create some type of sense of normalcy for them. Yeah. So I appreciate that your mom did that. But I think that must be just what she wants. She wants the kids to have a sense of wonder and just life is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's true. She does. I think she just wants so her mom, my grandma died when I was 5.
Okay.
And I was the youngest.
Okay.
Grandchild. And I have some memories of my grandma, but like all my cousins have like more memories. And she was just like a magical grandma. I mean, she did things with the kids, and we used to go over there every Wednesday in the summer, and we would have a swim day, and you know, she used to bake cookies, and she was that woman who had like 14 different kinds of cookies she made every Christmas and like gave out Christmas cookies as presents, and like that was her mom. So like she just kind of like inherited that. And like I try to do things like that. Like my big thing is like birthday parties with the kids. Like I love going above and beyond for their birthdays and making like huge themes. And like, I mean, we made our dining room into like Gotham City one year for John's superhero birthday party.
I need to check that energy from you, because I need to do a Mario party for Joe. So,
but it's not just me either. Like to get ready for John's birthday parties, like I have 5 of my friends over here, like tying a ribbon and hanging balloons from the ceiling. Like it is definitely a group affair. Like I will not take sole credit by any means.
But you drive it, right? And that's
Yeah.
because you want it to stand out in their memory. You want to make that day amazing for them.
Yeah. And it's funny because Michael always say, like, who are you really having this birthday party for? Like really, he just wants a cake and some presents. Like that's really all he needs. And I'm like, but maybe it's just the pictures, or maybe it's because John still to this day talks about his 4th birthday party where we, made the living room into Gotham, or like last year we had like a zombie apocalypse birthday party where like, I put over all the doors were like caution tape, and we had like hands drawn out, like cardboard hands, like reaching through, and like he had tactical gear. And I mean, is it selfish that I want them to grow up and be like, my mom threw the best birthday parties? Perhaps that is a little selfish.
But I feel like I think it's because we want them to have an amazing childhood.
Yeah, they're gonna hate me for so many things as they grow up. I don't want them to hate me for all.
Right.
For all the things. There are some things I want them to be like, my mom did all right, that, she might have like emotionally stunted me because of this, that, and the other. And, she might have exposed me to bad things, not exposed me to enough literature or the arts or whatever.
Right.
But she threw really good birthday parties.
I agree.
Balance.
I honestly think that it just comes down to, because when I had Joe, I was a hardcore, I'm not going to do big birthday parties. I'm not going to do all the friends and stuff until he's like in grade school, because I think having kids over for this, say, blah, blah, blah. But like when he hit 3, I was just like, I want this. I mean, and to give it some context, I guess, he's the youngest grandkid, even the youngest out of the great grandkids. He's the youngest. And so, well, I take that back. He has a second cousin that is 4 months younger than him. Okay. And so, but we don't see him as often, but when we get together as family, he's the youngest. So when we have birthday parties, he has all these people that are like 12 and up, and it's just, I said to Dan, I'm like, it's kind of a lame birthday party. We're all just sitting around. I'm like, I don't want him to be an old person before he's an old person. And so I started like bringing in the friends, because I don't know, those moments when after you've had the kids, you change your story on something.
For sure.
But I thought I want him, his special day, to be magical, not just a bunch of us old people sitting around complaining because I didn't get ice cream for your cake. Like, let it go, Dad. It's not your birthday. Okay.
It's so true, though.
I so love my family, but like, I'm like, you're really nitpicking.
It's not magical. It's not magical. It's not magical for a bunch of crotchety old people to sit around. It's not, though. And I think like we were lucky because when John was born, he was like the first kid. So it was a lot of adults, but like we were all young, so we wrestled with him, and like, he was the center of everybody's attention. Right. But like if you're the last kid, it's just like everybody's like kind of done. Right. Nobody wants to pretend that they can see your magical superhero powers and pretend to be like super punched in the face or like your laser beam eyes. Like at that point, you're just like, you don't have laser beam eyes. Right. Talking to grandma about diabetes. Can you move on? You're interrupting.
So no.
I know you said excuse me 14 times, but I don't want to talk to you.
Thank you for using your manners. So I do. I think that when I do something above and beyond, it's just, I mean, maybe it is selfish, but I want his time to be magical. I just remember growing up, and when my parents got divorced, there's a distinction in my mind of what life was like before and after. Yeah. And I just remember life being magical and slow and amazing and all of that before the divorce. And after that, it was, I mean, there was still some good times, but it just wasn't.
It was different.
It was different. So yeah, I think that's what I anytime I'm with kids and I do something above and beyond, because I want them to have that memory in their head of, this was an amazing day in my life.
Yeah.
So
all right, so let's get into our recommendations.
All right, so my recommendation is for a book. I feel like that's all I do now is talk about books.
I talked about movies for a hot minute.
I recently have been reading more, and I started to, well, I didn't start it. I actually started and finished it, a James Patterson book. Okay. And I would actually stop reading and I would put the book down, and I kept saying to my husband over and over again, I forgot what a great author he is. Now, I will say this about this book is my understanding is he co-wrote the book.
I always wonder what that means with him. Is it's like, are we just sticking our name on a book?
Right. Well, when I read the reviews, some people were pretty harsh about it. Because, and they're like, this isn't his typical style, you know, that the other person just wrote this and he slapped his name on it, blah blah blah. And maybe it's just because I haven't really read a lot of fiction books in a while that I was impressed by it, but it was really good. I mean, there were some parts to the book, like the character's kind of a spoiled, I mean, like she has this expectation that everyone should be keeping her in the loop on everything. And I'm like, that's not realistic. But then I think there are some people who are like that. They're like, for sure they expect to be kept in the loop on everything. And so I don't know. It was called, what, I'll tell you the name of the book and then I'll tell you my other problem with it. It was called Midwife's Murders. And my other problem with it, not just the characters kind of entitlement, but that the title has nothing to do with the storyline of the book. I mean, it has to do about midwives and a birthing center and the hospital and everything, but like no midwives die. And I was telling my brother about this and he's like, so you wanted midwives to die? And I'm like, no.
I was fine that they did not die, but the impression I received from the title was that there were going to be some dead midwives. Right.
But
it's a different kind of disappointment.
It is a different, exactly. And so but I think I'm just gonna grab some more of his books and read some more of his books, because I'm a mystery reader. I like that. I like to test my skill of, can I figure out who it was before the end of the book. So I was kind of wrong. So I think that's why I liked it, is that even though I had kind of gone back and forth on who I thought was the person doing the crime, in the end they kept me guessing. And so I don't know. So James Patterson's book, Midwife Murders, where no midwives die. None.
No midwives died. None died, guys.
None died. So, all right. How about your recommendation?
Okay, so my recommendation is, so I don't know how everybody else feels about color things in the bathtub.
I love it because it's in the bathtub.
See, I hate them. Because they don't clean up the way that they should. And maybe it's
That's true. They don't come just wiping off like they show you in
have
the
to
commercials.
Scrub.
Yeah.
So I have never really allowed my kids to have markers or paint or bath crayons because
it's miserable to get off. I completely
miserable
agree.
To get off. So whenever people have bought stuff for my kids, I'm just like, nope, that's a regift.
Right.
Thanks. And there was one time even like I got some, and part of it's because like we don't have any tile in our bathtub. Everything's like that plastic crap.
Yes.
It's a full shower plastic crap. So I know that that's part of it, but I don't let them play with anything. But I did find one thing that we use, and it's like $3 or $4. Okay. So they're called Crayola Color Bath Drops, and they dye the bath water.
Okay, yeah.
And you have to put it in at the beginning while you're filling the tub so it can like fizz and dye the water or whatever. But it doesn't dye the tub. It doesn't dye
them. Yep.
And it's $4, and there's like 60 tablets in there.
Yeah.
So it lasts you definitely get your money's worth.
Can I tell you, I low-key do this stuff with Joe. I don't ever take pictures because Dan is pretty convinced that there's harmful chemicals in there.
Oh, really?
They're going to harm our son. Oh. I love you, Dan, but it's not going to harm them. So we do that because Joe loves, I mean, if I can get him to sit in the bath and just play by himself for like whatever time, and I can like sit and read a book or catch up on emails or something while he splashes, I'm
45
totally
minutes to an hour is like our average. Like all the time I'm just like, you want a bath?
Right.
And I don't even have to sit in there with it. Like, I know that there's probably mixed feelings about this, but like once they get to like 2.5 or 3, like I start going further and further and further away from the tub. And even 2.5 and 3 is pretty extensive. Like Rayla takes baths by herself. The door is open. Like I'm sitting within hearing distance.
You can hear it. Yep.
I can like move around and look around the corner.
Right.
I mean, whatever.
The day that Joe climbed into the bathtub by himself, fully dressed, was the day that I was like, I think you can be in here on your own. So, and I think he was about 2.5. So
So I mean, Rayla's 18 months. She'll be 2 years in June. So she's more than 18 months now, I guess. But like she takes baths by herself. But it's just like, it's such a low-key, easy thing to do.
Just throw it in.
You just throw it in.
And it washes all the way when you...
Yep. And it's definitely... So that is my recommendation this week, because it makes bath time so much better, because like Malcolm, he'll just... And John does it too. John takes a lot of showers now because he's getting to that age. But these have been like our go-to thing that, you know, we always have a colored bath. They get to choose. There's red, yellow, or blue. Those are the fizzies. Sometimes we've tried mixing them together and it'll work. Yeah. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just all depends. But it's something so easy. And for people who have the hesitance of the bath, you know, crayons and markers like we do, it's a really good way for them to get the color. Because like John will be like, I want to bathe in blood today. I want a red bath. And Malcolm,
I love John.
Malcolm's favorite color was yellow forever. So of course I'm just like, who's gonna want yellow? Like, why would they give us yellow?
Why not like green or purple or
no, he was all about the yellow for a while. So like we used all the yellow tabs up before any of the other colors, and I'm just like, all right, like but yeah, I mean, it's only $4, and it and that's at Target, so I'm sure you can get it at Walmart for like $2.
Right. Search out Amazon.
Right. Yeah, they're on Amazon too.
Yeah, bath time is like one of my favorite times to do something to throw in that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Joe right now is into the glow sticks.
Yeah.
Glow sticks. And then, like you said, I can prop the bathroom door open so he has the light from the hallway, and then I can sit in the office. I can hear him, everything. Yeah. But he's happily plays in there, and then you can throw them in the freezer and reuse them. And yep. But Amazon, I think I bought like 200 of them for $5 or $6.
Exactly.
So, we've got years of fun right here.
Exactly. Like, it's so many levels of just like, this is cheap, but I mean, we're still kind of locked up, and it's just like, it's a go-to activity that I feel like because my kids are all like pale, sensitive skinned humans. I don't know where they got that from, my husband. But I am not that way. Like my skin is just like, I tan easy. I can use all the soaps.
God bless you, Dan and Joe do.
And my kids are just not that way. So like there are times that we just like, I don't want to wash them that often. But in the last like week and a half, where we've been trying just to like be a little bit more giving them activities, it's just like, here's a bath, go have a bath. Just
right.
Have a bath. Like, we don't have to wash your hair, because like there's lots of times that we won't wash their hair. They'll just
just get in the bathtub.
Yep.
You're playing. Exactly. You're playing. You're not in front of the TV. You're just using your imagination. And yeah.
So that's my recommendation this week is
I love that recommendation.
Non-clean bath time. Play bath time.
Play bath time.
So if you want or are so inclined, you can follow us on Instagram at
Messy Bun Mama Podcast.
Facebook at
Messy Bun Mama Podcast.
LinkedIn at
same thing. Messy Bun Mama Podcast.
Twitter at
Bun_podcast.
And then we also have a Patreon page that you can follow us, and it's Messy Bun Mamas Podcast. And you can also reach out to us at messybunmamaspodcast@gmail.com and hit us up on our website as well.
I was going to say, you can hit us up on the website. We're on YouTube and Pinterest as well. So
we're all over the place.
We're all over. We're just not on Snapchat. We're not that cool.
Or TikTok.
Or TikTok.
We're too old for this. Right. I don't want to figure out how to do it.
That's what it boils down to.
So thanks for listening. And if you want to drop some of your Easter memories, we'd love to hear them.
Yes.
So have a great week. And
have a great week. We'll see. You'll hear from us next week.
Bye.
I am Messy Bun.
This is Messy Bun Mama's podcast.
This is Messy Poop.
Messy buns, you silly. Hello, this is Melissa. I am here to talk to you about our Patreon page. This is a page that you can go to and give us a monthly donation as you listen to our podcast, and you can get bonus content such as getting episodes early, getting bonus episodes, and a bunch of other things. Eventually, we'd like to do some t-shirts and so much more. So if you're interested, no pressure, you can go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/messybunmamas podcast. Again, that's patreon.com/messybunmamas podcast. In a fitting manner, there is a coffee membership, a cold brew membership, and an espresso membership. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on that page, and thank you so much for listening.
Messy Bun Mamas. I'm Joe. I'm John. I am welcome. Wow.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to episode 10.
Yay, number 10.